everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I'm doing this all about Christmas channel. On this channel you will find lots and lots of seasonal decor DIYs and daily decor DIYs. If you like this content and you're not subscribed to my channel, of course I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot to grow and it doesn't cost you anything. So for now, of course, let's jump into our new inspiration for today. And you see already, these are the supplies we need. Of course, our tumbling tower blocks, wood glue, or maybe glue from your glue gun, or maybe different glue. It doesn't matter. Of course, I have my little bucket with my pencils, and of course my brushes, my scissors, some cutting tools, and of course I have some paint. Of course you can use any paint at your choice, and I always have here laying around an old piece of towel which is wet, so I can wipe away the wood glue away when I don't need. So what we're going to do for today, we are going to try to make, of course, the base of a nativity scene. So, and then later you can decorate it any way you like, but we are going to make very easy the base. For this stable we are going to do, of course, and in the Netherlands, if for everyone who likes to know it, here in the Netherlands we call stable stal. It's almost the same, but it sounds a little bit different. We call it stal, and we call the nativity scene kerststal. So it's a totally different word than nativity scene. Sounds really soft and nice, but if you do it in Dutch it is kerststal. So it's much different. What we're going to do, we're going to build it up from down under. So we go for 6 blocks of 2. So very easy, just lay them on top of each other, do a little bit of glue, and we're just building it up. And this is number 3. Number 4, number 5, and number 6. And of course now we're going to press them down and of course place them beside and make a nice straight line, because everything has to fit together. And again, squeeze it and make a nice straight line. Take your time for it, because you don't want that your nativity scene doesn't look very nice, because if he is wobbling, you don't want to do that, of course. And this is number 4 and number 5. Of course it is a little bit of squeezing, and this one also. And now we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So you see we have them straight up. What we're going to do on 4, we are going to do a drop of glue, and here number 3 and number 4. And what we're going to do, place them down. We're going to do this way, and we're going one without, and we're going to glue them together in one big nice row. We're going to do here the same, place them down on each other, and of course the last one is the closure up. And again, squeeze it and press it down and make a nice straight line again. And we're going to let this dry in also. In the meantime, while these two are drying, we are going to get 4 blocks this way, and we're going to glue them very easily together. Just a little drop, and again a little drop, and closing it up. And number 3 a drop, and the 4th will be the closure up again. Squeeze it and press them together this way. Very easy. This is already number 1. So I'm going to do 1 together with you, and then we're going to do it a little bit faster, because everyone thinks already knows how to glue them. Just on the top, a little glue, closing it up, and number 3 closing it up, and number 4 will be the last. So he doesn't need the glue. Again, squeeze it, press it together, and we're going to make, again, we already have 2, and we're going to make now 8 more, because we need 10 in totally. You see, we have our 10 rows of 4 blocks. So what we're going to do, we're going to lay this one down. We are going to do some glue on this line, very easy, a thin line. And again, we're going to place it against it, and this way we're going to do for this row the same. And I'm going to take every row before I'm going to place it, or else it takes much too long of your time. And I know a lot of you don't mind, but I always try to keep that no one is running away because because I am going too long. That's why I also talk too much, but I'm really enjoying. And you see already I am just really clumsy with my glue today. You see already I'm really throwing all my glue everywhere. So don't do it the way I do it. Just keep everything neat and clean. That's not the way I do it. And of course place them together until one big straight block of wood, and this way squeeze it, and we are going to let it dry in for at least a couple of hours because we want to be sure that this is really drying in. So I'm going to let this dry. Now for everyone who uses the smaller blocks, the bottom will be 13 rows of 6 blocks away. So you need 13 rows of 6 blocks and then glue them together the way I did the underpiece. Then you get also one board. And of course for this kind, the legs for under it, you need 8 blocks of 2, and you need 4 for each feet, which we were going to glue on the side in a moment for the bigger blocks. And also for the smaller blocks, you're going to use them over here. So you need 8 blocks in a row by 4 pieces by 2. And also of course you need 4 pieces by 2 over here. And this is 13 rows of 6 blocks this way to get a nice plank. So this is for the smaller blocks. So we did let it dry in for a couple of hours. What I'm going to do some glue on the piece. You see the 3 blocks on top of each other. And I'm going to do some glue in the middle. And I'm going to glue them on the side over here. And of course I have to look for that I have it in a straight line. And this is a 1. And I'm going to glue this one also in the middle over here, and we're going to place this one also on the same spot and the opening the same. So, and this way, and now we're going to give it a little bit of pressure, and we're going to let this dry in also, and then our bottom is finished. So we did it, let it dry in for a couple of hours, and we're going to turn it over, and now we have a kind of, you see, a very easy bottom. We are going to place this beside because it's not totally dry yet, so we're going to give it some time. We're going to place it beside, and what we're going to do, we are going to make the roof, and the roof will be, of course, also you can do it this way. I hope I can show it to you. Ooh, this better. I can show it to you. You can do it this way, but I'm going to do it from the front until the back side. But I'm not going to do the whole piece. I'm going to do the half. But you see exactly what I mean in a moment. So we are going to get, of course, 12 blocks. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and number 12. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a nice row out of them. So very easy. Just take some glue and of course get them together already in one row. And like I said, you can do the roof on different sizes, and you can do it on totally over the whole that bottom, but I'm going to do it only for half because I want to have a little space in front. It looks a little bit like a veranda. I don't know if you call it a veranda, but we call it over here. But you will see that in a moment. And number 12 will be the closure up. Squeeze it, press it down, and make a nice straight line again. Like this, and wipe away the glue you don't need with your wet towel. Again, just get it over this way, and whoop, you have it gone. And then again, squeeze it and give it a nice straight line. We're going to get for another 12 pieces, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And if I'm correctly, I have the same. Yes, I have. Or else I have a roof which is not fitting totally. So I'm going to glue this one also together in the same way like we did the other one. And of course, these are always a couple of more blocks because you also want your nativity scene a little bit. You cannot be too small because maybe if you have a smaller home like I have, then you can not place a very big one. So squeeze it, press it together and make a nice straight line again. And again, squeeze it. And we're going to get our towel, we're going to wipe it away. And don't worry if blocks are going out of each other. You just place them together, squeeze them again, and everything will glue together again. So don't worry about it. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes. And you see already I placed one up this way, and I'm going to make a straight line like we do more in my DIYs. And again, we have to take all the blocks. We're going to place it down, and even when it breaks right now, don't worry about it. Just squeeze them together again, and the way I do it over here, and you still can readjust it like this and make a nice roof out of it, and this way. And we're going to let this dry in. This will stay in for a couple of hours. You see already on my table, these are our bigger blocks. For the smaller blocks, you need 18 blocks in a row because that's even wide as your bottom will be. So 18 blocks in a row, and you make 3 rows of 18 and then glue them together the way I did this one. So 3 rows of 18 blocks, place them together, glue them together, and you already have your roof for your nativity scene. In the meantime, while our little roof is drying, we are going to make sets of 2 again, but very easy. We're going to make 12 sets of 2. It's always easy. Just do some glue in the middle, press one on top. It is so easy to make, and then later we're going to glue them together. This is already number 4. I'm going to do the rest a little bit faster. So I have my 12 blocks of 2 pieces. Again, lay them on the side like we did earlier. Just place them down, squeeze it together and make a nice straight line out of them, because you don't want that they are not straight because they have to glue later together. This is already number 2, and I'm going to do the rest a little bit faster. And if there's glue coming out, get your little towel and wipe it away until this, and I'm going to do the rest faster. So now we have our 4 sets of 3. What we're going to do, we just do some glue in the middle on this one, and then we're going to close them up again, the same like we did with the other one, but then 3 rows this way. And we're going to do the rest the same, just a little glue over here, and we're going to close them up again like one straight line, the same like we did with the other. And this was only a little smaller, number 2, and we're going to place them together again. And the last one, very easy, just do some glue here, and on the last, because the third will be the closure up, again squeeze it and press them together, and we're going to let this dry in. And you see our 4 pieces are drying, which are holding our roof later. But of course, for everyone who uses the smaller blocks, I would go for 5 high. This one is 3 high, but I would go for the smaller blocks I would go for 5 high, but I would go for each pieces of the thing. Take 4 blocks, glue them together like this, and that you go 5 times high, and that will be one of the corners of your roof. So 4 pieces like this and just 5 high. Then you do this 4 times. Then you have on each corner you have one of these poles, if I'm correct. We call it palen. So we are also laying this 4 aside, and what we're going to do, we're going to take, because we need a little piece of the back side. I don't do the back side totally closed, I just do a little piece of it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get 10 blocks, very easy, of course this is a half block, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And again, we're going to glue them together. Very easy. And number 2 and number 3, number 4, 5. You see, this is a really brown one. Number 6, 7 and 8 and 9. And of course, if you just use paint, then a darker one is not totally really a problem. But if you are going to wax it and you use neutral wax, then it can be a problem because this one is really darker than the rest of the blocks. So this is already again 10, and I'm going to do again another 10. And I have here 4, 5, 6, 7, and of course I have to get there also another 10. So again, I have the 10 blocks, and this way we're going to do the same. Glue them together. And if you are going to make this nativity scene also, of course, I always hope that you send a picture if you are going to make it and how yours turned out. I always love seeing how everyone is making their own DIY inspiration because I can learn so much from everyone. So I always love to see what you made. Of course, we're going to get our little piece of towel. I'm going to wipe away. And this way, and of course also on this side, and then squeeze it again and make a nice straight line. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes, and then we're going to glue everything together in one piece. So I placed again one on the side. I'm going to do some glue on here, and we're going to make a nice straight line again. Squeeze them together, and this way, so we get a nice back side of our stable. And just squeeze it and press it together and make sure that you at least have one straight line on the underside so everything will glue together. And we're going to let this dry in. So for everyone who uses the smaller blocks, your bottom is 18 blocks wide, of course. At least you turn them over and it is 6 blocks, but if you do 6 blocks 3 times, it's 18 blocks in the length, because one block is always 3 blocks if you turn them over. So you need 18 blocks for the back side of your stable. 18 blocks, of course, I measured it out. And what you need, you have 2 poles. Of course, you have in the middle, you need 15 blocks in a row, and do that 3 times. And then you have the same backside that I have, not totally closed, but only a little piece on the back side of your stable. So stable will be 15 blocks wide, 3 blocks high, and then you have the back side, and then your blocks are getting a little bit closed in on your bottom, and you leave on the bottom a little piece open, and here are the poles, and here will be your back side. So 3 times 15 blocks wide, and build them up this way. So this will be 15, again 15 and 15, and glue them together, and you have your smaller blocks backside. And yes, before we go further with the next step, I have to tell you that of course you see me every time also giving the sizes and numbers of the smaller blocks. I understand completely if you have the bigger blocks that you are not totally interested in the smaller blocks, but I chose for myself that I also give the smaller blocks because a lot of our friends are having the smaller blocks, and I always want that everyone can make the same DIY. So I'm going to try always giving also the numbers and a little bit showing how the smaller blocks are turned out, so you have a better imagination how the smaller blocks are also turning out, because I think everyone has the right to make a nice DIY. So that's why I also give the numbers of the smaller blocks and of course the bigger blocks, but that's it's already. So I hope you bear with me, and of course I hope you don't mind, but sorry if you do mind, but I am loving that everyone can make the same DIYs like we all do. And that's why I also give everyone also the smaller blocks. So for now, of course, I'm giving both of the measurements. So I hope you bear with me and you still stay here and you still are here for watching. So now we're going to do really the next step. So the next step will be very easy. We are going to make 4 blocks. So we make a very simple row of 4. These are the last pieces we need for our stable. This is 2, number 3 and for number 4 will be the closure up. Squeeze them, press them together this way and make a nice straight line. And we're going to do another 4. And again, we do exactly the same. 1, number 2, and a number 3. And we are going to make this stable with the roof flat. So of course, I would normally make the roof a little bit go off. But of course, not everyone has a jigsaw. And that was also with my mailbox. There was someone who asking me, well, how you do your mailbox if you don't have a jigsaw, if you don't can make this round. So I'm also going to show you now with this table, just to go with flat so everyone can make it. So we are going to do 3. But of course, if you want to have a roof which is going down a little bit, then you can, of course, get your jigsaw and do the poles a little bit lower. Now we're going to make 2 of 3. I mean 4. I would almost do it wrong. Now I have 4 pieces and again another 4. I would if I'm talking and making it, it's not a great thing. Of course, if I do, we are going to cut cut because I really need 3. I don't really need 4. 2 of 4, 2 of 3, and of course 2 of 2. So this is better. And again, 1 of 2. So we have again 2 of 4, 2 of 3, and now we're going to make 2 of 2. And this way, and another one. But you see it already on my table the right way. Again, glue them together this way. Squeeze it. And we're going to let this dry in for at least a couple of minutes so we can work with it. So again, get your wet towel and wipe away the glue you don't need. So very easy. Wipe it off. And you get a nice clean surface to work with. And this way. And over here. And we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. And you see all the pieces now we need. What we're going to start with, we're going to start with our bottom. We're going to lay away the roof. We're going to start with the back side. And the back side will be, of course, some glue on this side, and this side. So very easy. Just do some glue on the sides, over here, and this way. And we're going to do it on the other side. And this way, and this side. Oh, see already, I'm already spilling all my glue, and I'm going to place it on this line of the blocks. And I try to measure out a little bit, but before I'm going to settle everything, I'm going to get one of my poles. I'm going to this way, and I'm going to place it over here, but halfway in the line. So again, this way. I'm going to get the other one, and then we're going to settle in and make sure that everything is standing right. But for now, first we're going to do this way, and again going to place it halfway, and then we're going to squeeze everything in the direction we want to have, because we have little sides over here which is coming inside of the back side. So make sure that you have everything in place that you want to have it, but of course you can change it up any way you like. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So now you see him also from the side. So we have 2 of our, I call them poles. I hope I am saying it right, but here in the Netherlands we call it paal. And we have the back side, inside, and you see I left an opening open because I liked it a little bit better. And of course, what we're going to do right now, we're going to take the pieces of 4 we just made, and we're going to do some glue on this side, and the other side. And we're going to place it in the middle of this one. And we're going to do with the other one the same, also gluing it over here. And of course, make sure that everything is fitting together, because not all the blocks are correctly. So just work a little bit with it and look for which is the best way to glue everything together. That's sometimes a hard thing with tumbling towel blocks. The sizes are always bad. So we're going to place this one over here, and we're going to place it in the middle. And this way. And we're going to press them down and make sure that we have them in a straight line. We're going to do with this one the same, of course, over here on the underside and on this side. And then we're going to turn it back and we're going to place it again in the middle. And we're going to give this also a couple of minutes. So we did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. Now the only thing I need is to do some glue on this side over here and just do a little piece on the top because the rest is already going down. And we're going to place it against here and this way. Make sure that we have a nice straight line again and squeeze it together. And we're going to do the other one the same. Of course, again, some glue. And we're going to do a little glue over here because it will go down. And I have to look for where I'm going to place it because I have to place it on the right spot. And this way, and I'm going to squeeze it together. And we're going to let this dry in also. Now we have the back side, we have our 4 poles, we have our sides of our stable. Now we're going to get the pieces of 2 this way. And we're going to glue them also in the middle of this one on the side. So we need some glue on this side and on this side. And we're going to place it over here. And make sure that you have it in a nice line. And this way. Because this will be a little bit like a fence. Of course, I have to look for if I have the right block. I'm going to do some glue over here. And over here. And we're going to place it again over here. And we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. And now we're going to get the pieces of 3. So we do some glue on the underside and on the front of this one on the side. You see over here we do some glue over here and on the front. So not the side but the front side. A little line this way. And we're going to place it against here. Again, make sure that you have a nice straight line again over here. And now we're going to do with this one the same again on the bottom. And a little line over here. And we're going to place it again over here. And we make sure that we have a nice straight line again this way. And we're going to let this dry also. So you see now we have all the parts glued together and this way. I hope you can see it. This I can get it up for you a little higher. So now you have everything except for your roof. And normally what I would do, I would saw off this a little bit sideways and of course on the back side. So my roof can hang a little bit sideways on here. But I chose this time to make it flat because then now everyone can make it. So very easy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue on the tops and I'm going to layer up my roof. So I'm just going to do some wood glue on a little of each of the middle and over here and over here. And now we're going to try to get our roof on top. I'm going to turn it over because I have to look for where I want to have I place mine. Again, over here and make sure that you have it in a nice straight line again. Over here, that everything is smooth on the back side this way and a little overlay over here and this way. And now we're going to make sure that we have the back side fitting over here and then we're going to give it some pressure with some paint cans and we're going to let this dry at least for a couple of hours. So I placed you a little bit close. You even see already a little bit of our stable and he is still drying, but he's already very far with drying. What we're going to do, we're going to do 3 blocks because we're going to make a manger, if I'm correctly. We are going to say here in the Netherlands, we say kribbe, but you also can use a crib, if I'm correctly in English. But of course, I looked it up. I don't know if this is real the translation, but they call it manger. So let me know if it is correct or not. So we're going to place 3 blocks together this way in a straight line, squeeze it, press it down, and this way, and we're going to place it aside. Now we're going to get our 4 blocks and we're going to glue 4 of them together. Very easy, and I just do the manger in my way, but you can, if you have a better way, it's also fine too. This is just the way I do it. So I'm going to squeeze it. You see already, place them down and this way, and we're going to make a nice straight line again and press everything down. We get in our wet towel, wipe away the glue we don't need, because or else we get one big mess. And again, we have to make sure that the line is you see already this block is a little bit bigger than the other blocks. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this one. We are going to do some glue on this side and on this side. And we're going to do on this side and this on the other side the same. Very easy. And we're going to glue this one over here, and we glue this one over here, and we place this one against here. Very easy, very simple. And just go a little bit outside, and then we're going to let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes. We want to be sure that everything is fitting nicely, because we don't want parts which are sticking out. So we're going to let this dry in. So we did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So what we're going to do, we are going to do some glue on the underside over here. Very easy, a little line, and here and here. And now we're going to turn it over and place it on top of here, and make sure that you have it squeezed over here. And we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes again. So we let it dry, and now you see already it's just a little kind of a basket. And you see we have this 3-piece. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to do some glue on top of here, and I'm going to glue it in the middle. Very easy. And just place it over here. And we're going to give it a little bit of pressure so it can dry in a little faster this way. And then we have our own manger, or like we say, kribbe. And here you see already the base of our little stable with our manger inside. And of course you can make the manger in any way you like. If you have a better idea, maybe from a little basket or something else, you can decorate it anyway. This is of course the base we have. Now I'm going to give it a paint coat, but I'm going to choose for this one, and this one is very old. I just found it, but I am really loving the color. But don't look inside. It's really awful to see, but it is like a wall paint, but we will see how this will turn out. But I like the color, so I'm going to give this the color that color. But if you choose another color, go ahead. And here you see already how the color is looking like. Like I said, it is a wall color I had already for years and years ago. So this color is already very old, and you saw it on the can. The can was very old, but I'm going to go to my home and garden store, and then I can make the same color paint. So I'm going to make it again, but of course for this one I can use still this paint. He is still working, so I'm going to do the whole stable in this color. In the meantime, while our stable is drying, I took out a little piece of wood, and it is the star. And I'm going to do this star in the gold color. I think this kind of star in this season of the year, you can get wood pieces like this everywhere. So I'm going to get my gold marker, and I'm going to go very easy, make it in the gold color. Of course, you also can paint it gold or spray paint it gold, but I think this is always so much easier to do, and it works very, very fast. So just get a gold marker and just go over it, and even you can do it maybe in, if you like it a little bit modern look, you can also do some black star, but I'm going to make this gold. And here you see how our stable and our manger, or kribbe like we say, turned out. I did everything in the same coloring just to give it a nice neutral tone. I'm going to get a push pin, very easy, and I'm going to take a gold one, you see, like this, and I'm going to do it through my little star, and I'm going to do the star in the middle. So I have to look for where I want to have it, of course. I have to look for the middle. That will be almost over here. So I have, I think, 10 blocks, if I'm correctly, so it will be the middle. It will be exactly over here. So we will see if this will correct. And of course over here. And I show it to you in a moment. Bear with me. So you see, this is how he's looking like with the star. But you don't have to do it. You can do maybe some greenery over here. You can do some hay everywhere. But for now, this is for me the base of our stable. What I'm going to do, I'm going to decorate it in a neutral way, but you can go as crazy as you like. I want to have in the corners, I want to have my Christmas trees, two on each side, of course. Maybe normally they wouldn't stand there, but in my stable they do. What I'm going to do, see, always there I have this kind of plastic underground to give them kind of a stand. I'm going to take the same paint I used for my stable, and I'm going to paint it in the same color, so if they are standing on the ground you don't see them, and that's always a very nice sight, because a very white piece is not a great sight to see in your stable. So I'm going to paint both of them in the same color, so you can very easy, don't let it discourage you if you just see things you don't like. Just give a paint and you already can get it fitting into your decor. So I placed you a little bit lower. I hope you still can see inside of our little stable. What I'm going to do, you see already, this is how the little tree turned out, and I'm going to place it over here, and I'm going to do it in the back side, of course, and I'm going to do this one also inside, and we're going to squeeze it to the back side this way. So we have in each corner we have a little tree. Of course, I hope you can see it this way. What I'm going to do, I did get my manger and I did some raffia. At least I don't know if you call it also raffia. This is just from this kind of, you also can use it for a package, but I'm going to use it for some hay. So I'm also going to do a couple of them over here, and I'm just going to cut them short, and I'm going to place them inside. And of course you see already they go everywhere and not at the place where I want to have it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to lay it on top of here. So we place this aside. What we're going to do, we get a little bit more, and we're going to place this in our stable. Just the idea of some hay, and of course just work a little bit with it. Take your time for it. And of course you see already it's going everywhere, but this gives a less how you call it, less I hear in the net we say bende, but I don't know how you call it. It gives a lot of less mess than you have with your normal hay. So I'm going to very easy place it inside this way, and I keep it a little bit yeah, not really neat. I like a little bit different. So again, place it inside and a little bit outside, of course, because we don't want to have it too clean. And this way. Now we're going to get our figurines. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take some pieces of greenery, very simple greenery, it is just from a branch, and always cut it off. And I'm going to place it a little bit on the back side. And again, it's optional, you don't have to do it. And I'm going to give it a little bit kind of a green wall on the back side, and a little on the sides over here, and on this side over here, and maybe a little on the ground. Just stick it in, and we're going to stick one on this side over here. So just let it come out of your stable. And I'm going to cut off the pieces of our raffia we don't need, and again we're going to get it together this way, and we just throw it in. So the pieces are again over here. So I think this looks already very neutral. What I'm going to do, I always have my figurines in one kind of a box, and I have bigger ones, smaller ones. I have a couple of sets. So, but I am always really loving my nativity scene. So, but I think everyone has different nativity scenes. In each country there are different pieces. So of course I have here Maria. And Maria and Joseph, like we call them here in the Netherlands. And I have this one, and I show it to you in a moment. Of course, over here. And I like a little bit always of the old style, but you don't, maybe there's also a modern version of it. And you see here already is for the sheeps. Okay, we in the Netherlands call it een schaapherder. Schaapherder. I don't know how you call it. You don't call it this way. I have to look it up the way you call it. And I think I have all of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place, of course, Maria with little baby Jesus. And I'm going to place this one inside of here and make a little bit of room for it. You see, I'm just going to place it over here, and we're going to place it in the middle over here. And of course you also can leave it this way, but I'm going to place on the side, I'm going to place Maria. And of course I have to find a little spot for her, and I have to find a spot voor de three, ja, hier, de wijzen uit het oosten. I don't know if you call it. It's really hard for me to do it in English, but you know what I mean. This in your language, in English. I'm sorry, you just fell out on me. I don't know what happened, but you were gone. you were totally gone. So what I did some animals. I have here my sheep, of course, some cows over here, and I have Joseph and Maria over here, and of course baby Jesus. I have here the three wise men from the east. I think I call it this. I don't know how you really call it, but I have no room for those three. But if I'm going to decorate, I always keep them on the side. So you can decorate anyway, but I think this one is more than full enough for me. So this is a little bit how my stable is turning out in the moment you see the quick impression. And here you see a quick impression of our stable, of course, our nativity scene. I did on top some greenery because I like it always with some greenery. It's just my privilege. But I am really happy how this Tumbling Tower Blocks nativity scene turned out. It's a little bit different, like always with me. But I hope you give this one a try and give your own twist on it. And maybe you already have your own little nativity scene if you did this DIY together with me. And if you only love to watch, I hope you had fun watching. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, of course I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot to grow, and it doesn't cost you anything. And of course, for more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find all the links you need. Enough talking. I wish you all an amazing day, and I hope to see you in my next project. Bye.